Good morning, students. We are back online. So last week we introduced a new topic known as cost volume analysis, otherwise known as break-even analysis. So we've looked at the definition, the meaning, we look at the assumption, and also we look at the limitation and some formulas under it. So before we move straight to the calculation aspect, let's quickly look at let's do a recap of what we did last week. So we talked about the break-even analysis and the CVP, a relationship between cost, sales, and what activity level, or those changes that affect operating income. We also talk about the assumption. We talk about where we have the selling price is known and constant, the fixed cost is known and constant, the stocks are valued at marginal. Then another assumption is that technology remains unchanged. Then stock costs are divided into fixed and variable costs. Then we also talk about the limitation. What are the limitations? We talk about the limitation whereby selling price is not always known and constant. Then the fixed cost also is not always known. In that case, it's not always true that the fixed cost is not constant. Then we also talk about stocks are valued at marginal. In most cases, stock can be valued at absorption, so it's not always correct. So then we now look at the formulas, how to calculate break-even analysis. We talk about the break-even point in units, the break-even point in sales, targeted profits, contribution margin, and contribution margin ratio. All these are what we did in the last videos. So today we're looking at a calculation aspect whereby we are going to calculate the break-even point in unit in sales and the targeted profit. So I want you to you can pause this video and save it, download and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe or like, so that when I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. So there's a question we'll be looking at. The question is on the board, and this question is just an introduction. Then we'll now move to the next stage. My next video will be on multiple products. I will still do more videos on this, like 3 or more videos will be coming out on the CVP. So let's start with this short question. It's a very simple question for a beginner. So now let's look at the question. Is on the board. A company makes a single product with a selling price of 10 naira and a marginal cost of what? 6 naira. The fixed costs are 60,000 per annum. Calculate the number of units to break even. B. Sales at break even point. C. Contribution to sales ratio. Then D. The number of units to be sold to achieve target profit of 20,000. Then D, the level of sales to achieve a profit of 20,000. Then we have the F, if the tax rate is 40%, how many units will be sold to achieve a profit of what? 20,000. So these are short questions, a question that requires little attention. So if you understand those rules, if you understand those formulas, so you'll be able to solve this simple question. It's not difficult. It's all about for you to understand what you want to solve and understand what you want to do. So now let's take what's the first step. Remember in my last video I said something. You have to bring out those variables. What is the first one? You have to know what is the selling price. Selling price. Let's check the question. The selling price given at the selling price of 10 naira. This is the selling price. You bring it here 10 naira. The next thing you look for your variable cost. Your variable cost, is it given as a single figure or you have the element of material, labor and overhead. No, it is given as a single product. And the marginal cost is under name for variable. Marginal cost of what? 6 naira. Marginal price of 6 naira. Do you see it now? So that means we are going to have 4 naira as what? Contribution margin. You can see now these are our contribution margin. Then the next one, what are we looking for again? We can add our CMR. That is contribution margin ratio. Remember I gave you the formula. You can either use selling price minus variable cost all over what? Selling price. Or you use CM all over what? Selling price. So in this case, CM, which is 4, selling price, which is what? 10. So this gives us 0.4. So our CMR is what? 0.4. Now with this, I can solve for A. A says the number of units to break even. So what examiner is saying is actually to calculate what? Break even point in units. Break even point in units. And the formula is fixed cost all over CM. So what is our fixed cost? We have it as what? 60,000 naira. Oh yeah, what is our CM? Our CM is what? 4 naira. Look at the CM, 4 naira. So 60,000 divided by 4, that gives you what? 15,000. So your answer must be in units. So this is 15,000 units. So these are what? Break even point in units. Do you get it now? What this simply means that before the company can break even, it must be at what? 15,000 units. So anything below 15,000 means they will run at a loss. Even if it is 14,999 or 998, it will be at a loss. So from 15,000 upward is when they will break even. So this is what they need to produce 15,000 units for them to what? Break even. So we've answered A. Oh yeah, what of B? B says what? Says at break even. So this one is talking about break even point in sales. Remember, I also give you the formula which is break even point in sales. Fixed cost all over CMR. Or you can multiply BEP in units times the selling price. Do you get it now? So it's either you use this formula or multiply this one by the selling price. So let's do it now. So break even point in sales will now be 15,000 units times what is our selling price? 10 naira. So our break even point in sales will now be what? 150,000 naira. This one will be in naira. Do you get it now? So that answers the question. So you can see now it's very simple. If I use the formula, I will still get the same answer. I will just take 60,000 divided by 0.4. Divided by 0.4, I will still get 150,000 naira. So I've answered the A and the B part. Then what is the C part? The CS ratio, that means contribution to what? Sales ratio. Contribution. Now the CS ratio, which is, I've done it, it's on the board, which is CM divided by SP. That gives me what? 4 all over 10, which is 0.4. So 0.4, that is our CS ratio. You can see very, very simple. It's not difficult at all. So we've done the A part, the B part, and the C part. So the next one, that is number D. Number D says the number of units to be sold to achieve a targeted profit of 20,000 naira. So this one is talking about what? Targeted profit. So I will clean this part so that we're able to solve the D part and the E part. So this is D. So number of units, so targeted profit. I also gave you the formula in the last class, which is what the fixed cost plus this is the profit all over CM. Remember, I said number of units. If it is sales, I will use CMR. Number of units to be sold to achieve a target profit of what? 20,000. So my fixed cost will remain 60,000. Don't forget. My profit is what? 20,000 divided by my CM, which is what? 4 naira. So this will give me 80,000 divided by 4 naira. So this one will now give me what? 20,000 units. So that is our answer. So for them to achieve this 20,000 naira target, they must produce what? 20,000 units. That is all. Very, very, very simple. So that is what targeted profit is all about. So if they are aiming to make a target of 20,000 naira, they must produce what? 20,000 units. You can see that it's greater than the break-even point we did of 15,000 naira, 15,000 units rather. So yeah, the next one, the level of sales, which is the E, level of sales to achieve a profit of what? 20,000 naira. The same question, what I will just do is, since it is sales, they are talking about what the break-even point in sales. Just multiply this unit by what? The selling price. That will be 20,000 units times 10 naira. So this will give us 200,000 naira. So for them to achieve a profit of 20,000 naira, they have to sell what? 200,000 naira. If they want to achieve a profit of what? 20,000 naira. If you don't want to use this formula, you can just do this one. Fixed cost plus targeted profit all over CMR. Any of the formula will give you the answer. So my fixed cost is what? 60 plus 20 divided by 0.4. So that will give me 80,000 divided by 0.4. You can see I will see out what? 200,000 naira. So nobody will penalize you. You can do it this way. So the next one, if the tax rate is 40%, how many units will be sold to achieve a profit of 200,000 naira? So that is our F now. For F, you go back to our formula, fixed cost plus profit all over what? So for the F part, if the tax rate is 40%, how many units will be sold to achieve a profit of 20,000 naira? Look at it, the same question, 20,000 naira. The only difference is that they added a tax rate of what? 40%. So what do you need to do? Since there's a tax rate, we have to convert it to a profit before tax. So we have a profit after tax of 20,000. You now say, okay, profit before tax equals to PAT all over 1 minus T, which is the tax rate. So that gives me 20,000 divided by 1 minus 0.4. So 20,000 divided by 0.6. So 20,000 divided by 0.6. 20, 1, 2, 3 divided by 0.6. That gives me 33,333. 33,333. So this is my profit before tax. So what I will do next is I can now use this formula now to solve it. So let me quickly take this. So my fixed cost remain what? 60,000. My profit I've converted it to profit before tax, which is 33,333 divided by my CM, which is 4 naira. So that will now give me 93,333 divided by what? 4. So let's see what we are going to get. So 93,000 divided by 4. So 60,000 plus 33, 1, 2, 3. So that gives 93,000 divided by our CM, which is what, 4. That gives me 23. So our break-even point in unit will now be 93,333 divided by 4. Remember how we got this 4? This 4 is our contribution margin per unit. So let's see what we will get. 93,333 divided by 4. So the unit is what? 23,333 units. So at this point we are done with the F part. So I think this one is okay now. But if it have been sales, what will I do? I will just multiply by what? The selling price. But this one now is what? The unit. So let's look at the next part, the last part. It says because of the increasing cost, the marginal cost is expected to rise to what? 6 naira 50 kobo per unit, and the fixed cost increase to what? 70,000 naira. You can see in the absorption, remember we are told that fixed cost is what? Known and constant. But look at this one now. The fixed cost at fluctuate. You can see it's not constant from 60 to what? 70. That is why I said the assumption is not always true. So we have a new fixed cost and we have a new what? Marginal cost. So let's go there. So the old marginal cost, it was given to us as what? 6 naira. So the new marginal cost per unit is now what? 6 naira 50 kobo. Then and selling price cannot be increased, so selling price will remain constant. So we have our selling price to be what? 10 naira. So that means we are going to have a new contribution margin, a new CM. So that will now be 10 naira minus 6.5. That will now give us 3 naira 50 kobo. That's our new CM. Then we have our new fixed cost also, which is 70,000 naira. Now, what is the requirement? I say, what will be the number of units required to maintain a profit of what? 20,000 naira per annum. So we'll go back to our formula, which is what? The fixed cost plus profit all over CL. So our fixed cost, we are not using 60,000, we are using what? 70,000. And our profit is what? 20,000. And there is no tax rate, divided by 3.5, not 4 naira. So this will now give us 90,000 divided by 3.5. So let's have calculation. 90,000 divided by 3.5. That will give us 25,714 units. 25,714 units. So that's all. Now you can see what I just did there is that there is changes. There is change in what? In the variable cost, and there's also change in what? Fixed cost. So all these changes, it can happen in a question. It can also happen when you have multiple products. So where those assumptions that was stated earlier on, you can see limitation has already given us that is not always correct based on what we are seeing here. So that means for the company, they need to produce what? 25,714 units. So if it is sales, just multiply by what? The selling price of 10 naira. That will give you the break-even point in sales. So at this point, I will stop here. Then my next video will be on multiple products. So for those that have not subscribed, kindly click and share this video, or you can pause this video, download and pause, then go through it again, so that you have to practice before examination. Another area I will cover again is that I will also cover a question that has a mixed cost. That means element of fixed cost and variable cost. And there's a comment box. You can comment, you can drop a comment. I will definitely reply them whenever I'm online. So please and please kindly subscribe and share. Thank you very much and have a lovely weekend.